Hello? I do too. And with that, I welcome you to Spider and Old Scooter. This is a sort of a test program. I'm going to call it the Screen-0-matic test program. I'm sure that's of vast interest to you, but we're producing it tonight. Instead of using QuickTime and Handbrake into the upload, we're now using Screen-0-matic straight into the upload for the first time. I can only go 15 minutes because I bought the really cheap version. Have the same layout. You shouldn't suffer from layout shock. So enough of that stuff. I intend to play a game, once again, with the best mix I can between my sister's sort of karate-esque, aggressive mode of play and my more monkish mode of play, more conservative. We'll see. And I've heard from someone who has yet a third mode of play, which is, I'm taking it way too seriously. I want you to just move the cards and shut up. So I think that's legitimate. And I don't intend to do any of that, of course. I intend to ramble on while playing a game that I truly love and sort of talking my way through it. I've been told over and over again, some people come to watch this kind of show to learn more about playing the game. Well, the playing of the game is a core central to what I do when I do this silly thing I'm doing right now, talking while doing so, using, Screencast-o-matic. You may understand I have some notes over here I may refer to occasionally. So, I hear distant hicking. There we go. 7, 4, 5, jack. Now, the more aggressive form is to look desperately for any possible way to clear and cut into the thin blue line. And there is one way. I probably would have done it in my more placid form of play, but definitely that's the aggressive play. One of the plays constantly, and I know I hear you cheering for me, is that I don't overlook perfectly obvious plays. Now, there is that one attitude that you don't just make those normal moves. You look and see if there's any alternative that does better at cutting into the thin blue line. Here's no special. These are just lucky moves. You happen to have them. They're there. Take them. I didn't arrange for them. I didn't tacticize my way into them. The trick is at that 1 in 10 moves where you have a chance to be tactical, that you make a decision. Are you going to be an aggressor or an opportunist or a money grubber? I tend to lean money grubbing-ish because I pay a lot of attention to the score. Hate to lose big money. I love to win big money. The really aggressive player ignores this and goes for the kill. She may be one of those, but in pixel clothing, I don't see any moves aggressive or other. Oh, there's one. Oh, blind bat. It's okay. That's a great thing about being 80, or one of many great things about being 80, is it's okay to, be either physically or mentally a little off step. It's expected of us. It takes a lot of pressure off of you if you don't have to worry about that. None of my elder defense is doing me any good here. So, there is a 10, there is a 9. In fact, there are 2 10s. There's an 8 for the 9, a 7 for the 8, not one of them in the natural color. So my sister says work big down. So I'll start with that. There's no place for that 10, right? So I'll do that. See what that 2-1 is. Kind of exhilarating, but useless. I mean, I could have seen it without doing it, but it's so dramatic to actually do it. So I'll try this 8 on the 9, and knowing full well that I'll have a king jack, which I will do a restack. Now I've got a king at the top of a stack. Some aggressive players don't do that. I'm not sure why. I may get an earful someday. Speaking of ears, into the silence of my non-speaking comes the sweet scream of tinnitus. And when I'm talking, I don't actually hear the tinnitus, which is quite an irritating sound. I have one at 6,800 cycles, 6.8 kilocycles. Another one up at about 10,000, which is just barely on the edge. And then little weirdnesses in between and warbles and various things. Sometimes low tone. They don't last long, thank heavens. It makes listening to music a real thrill. Well, thrill as I would. Should I do anything? I don't see anything I should do, would do, or could do. Yes, I do. I could do that, which would let me do this. See, if you just mumble, and sigh, and take your time, just don't play fast. You'll miss plays, or I will miss plays if I play fast. I'll take that back if you, well, let me think about that a minute. What about this? Huh? That's neither aggressive or non, that's just playing the game. She, on the other hand, is pulling tricks we don't know about. As we sit here, she's calculating, that artificially intelligent, in my opinion, algorithm, is calculating what can happen with the part of her inventory that's still covered and the part you can see, and what would do old Scooter the most damage, the way the cards are going to play. And she shifts cards back and forth. These are all virtual positions. There's no way for us to know what's in there. So there could be anything in there, except what's showing. I get a lot of scoffs on that theory. Can't imagine why. All right. 10 Jacques. Say it again, Sam, in a different tone. Key, not tone, key. The rocking and rolling has ceased. I did this and I have that ace. What would I do with that ace? I don't know. I have a harlequin working here. Red, black, red, black. So, who knows? Some magic may occur. I'm not quite there yet in my radical beliefs, but it wouldn't take much to do that. All right, undo that 6 and do 7. That ace is, I think I will do it that way. Do you mind? Spider lets you take moves like that back without charging you. And as I've said ad nauseum, I charge myself when I make the mistake of not paying attention sometimes and using the auto move app like this. Boom! See how I just tapped it. I went there. However, if there had been a red 10 hiding over here, it would have gone there because it was first, and I would have had to spend $1, if I were honest, to move it where I wanted it to go in the first place, and I tried to avoid that. Because I make myself sing a silly song, short but silly. And it may be serving its purpose of deconditioning me from becoming so distracted I don't see that stupid move. I don't know what I like best here. If you have an opinion, raise your hand, and then leave the room. Well, there's a little restack. Oh, see, there was a double 10 block. I didn't see it. There's in front of the eyeballs, not seen. How do you explain these things? It's like wading through ambiguous tar. It doesn't know whether to be sticky or hot. Push that one to the edge. All right, I'm frustrated. Well, I'll play the last card and then go see if this new method works. 10 for the jack. 2 3s for 2 4s. How sweet. And then I can do this and this, or I could have done that, generated a 10, which I don't need, so I did right. You did good, son. We in the family is proud of you. I got a lot of that as a kid. Look at this, look at this, look at this. A score. Thank heavens, I was $130 in the hole. I can make up to 50 moves, lose that $50, lose the $50 house margin, and I'm paying $1 a move. I go over 50, it's $10 a move. So it was 140, probably 120 was that third move in the hole. And now I'm $3 in the hole. $3 under the 550 break-even point. So my attitude has improved. The likelihood of an actual win hasn't improved much. But as long as you're still breathing, there's hope. There's one. I'll do. Which one would I like to do? So give me that 10, now give me that king. Well, neither one is an instant bonanza. So I don't know, I'll just reflexively uncover the longest column. Why? I don't know. Don't ask me. Well, you didn't ask me. I know that. But I felt compelled to say I didn't know how I was doing it. And if you can't follow your compulsions on your own YouTube channel, when can you, for heaven's sakes? It's so weird having a YouTube channel. Oh dear. Well, I guess that's it for the Screen-0-matic. And one thing it doesn't... Oh yeah, I've spent 12 minutes and 36 seconds. I can only go to 15 minutes, as I think I mentioned. So should I drag it out? I think I will, and see what happens when I get to 15 minutes. Maybe it just shuts off. And if I thought it were important to have a continuous 3 games, I could start another one and do a butt edit. And it would be a little kerfuffle as we go from this one to the next one. It wouldn't violate my vow to do no editing in the games, which is specifically what I vowed, as you've heard. I'm not going to edit in. Once a game starts, inside the game is edits. I got to declare this one done so I can keep my word. I don't see anything else to do. And if I do, it's an honest mistake. Okay. So now we're at 13:30, got a minute and a half. What? Oh, sorry about the noise. Stephen Colbert still in the news for flinging a nasty Trumpward. He is, as you know, one of my strongest, focused admiration points. He's one of my heroes. He's a real... Did you know that I worked one time, cheek by jowl, same radio station, with Mort Saul, the immense, groundbreaking, satirical comedian who just blew people away in the early 60s. And he went through a short period of a hard time and wanted a job, and our radio station hired him like crazy, and I worked with him, talked with him, and went over to his house. He once gave me a pipe for a present because I smoked pipes all the time. Huge pipe. Funny. I mean, it was a joke and a gift. Mort Saul. But anyway, Stephen Colbert has many of those characteristics, as does Jon Stewart, as do a lot of guys. A lot. Comparatively speaking, there's probably 5 or 6 high-powered satirical comedians who are not afraid to go after politics. And Colbert's going to have a reunion show May